everybody. Welcome. It's Thursday. If it's 1 o'clock, hopefully you've taken time to stop and decide, hey, we're gonna think instead of do. So I'm excited today to share with you our very own Sonya Terry at TrainerTainment. Tanya, oh my gosh, that's the problem with your last name being Terry. Do you notice I do that all the time? Sonya, and if you say her name compressed, Sonya Terry, it would be Tanya. Not really. Sonya.
My new nickname, I guess. I've been told worse.
Perfect. Sonya joined our team. We were so excited to have her join right at the end of January, 23rd-ish, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And she's been a career in operations and has decided to take on a sales role. So how brave has that been? And I want her to be able to talk with you all about it. I just want her to have a chance to meet our audience in this think tank setting and talk a little bit about whatever the heck she wants to talk about. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Sonya Terry, one of the newest team members at TrainerTainment. Sonya, tell us a little bit about your background, because I know you got a big career and history in the family entertainment center space.
I do. I have 16 years in operations and management in the family entertainment industry. I worked in the laser tag. What I loved about working in the entertainment industry is just like seeing families having fun together and kids. And, you know, you're working in a service industry, but people are not usually unhappy. They're really happy, and they're like the smiles and the kids wanting to come back and remembering people's names. And so that was really my addiction part of it. It's just like that. It gave me a rush, like the excitement when the Saturday shift would start and everybody's coming in smiling, laughing, and the loud noises. People would say, how do you stand this? And I'm like, well, you learn to ignore the back noise, but I just see the smiles. That's what I really see. So
that's awesome. It does feel really good to work in an industry where our primary motivation is to help other people have fun. People work so hard. Life can be hard. And so just taking a minute, I love the word recreation. If you look at it, it's like, if you break it apart, it's recreation. So when we're doing that, I just wanted to brag. I should have said it in the opening. I am live from the Ritz Carlton.
And I can see the peacock in the background.
You see the peacock in the background? Isn't that
beautiful.
Awesome? Yeah.
Yes.
So we're live from the Ritz, and you talk about wonderful service. They figured out, Mary was wise enough. She said, I think they looked at our bags because they called us by name. But of course, our names are on our bag. But isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
Because I think people love that. I think that makes them smile, and, you know, just some of those
every
simple,
personal touch is definitely makes a huge difference when you feel special. You're not just one of the crowd.
That's exactly right. Well, Sonya, one of the great tidbits is she lives about 1 mile from me, which I really love. And physically, she's close to me. And so how in the world you were just 1 mile, less than 1 mile away from me, and you found us. Talk about how you found TrainerTainment.
Well, I have a cousin in the industry, so family kind of business. And after
our customer,
yes, one of your customers for sure. He has multiple bowling alleys, and him and his partner have used you guys for multiple years in training. And he had come to visit, and I was currently not working. I had left Laser Quest, and I was really wanting a change of something. Like, I had been for 26 years, even longer than that, since I was 15. There's always been like I've been in a service industry of some sort. I've always done some kind of sales job in something. I became really passionate about training when I was at my last job, and helping people grow, learning that. But so my cousin had come to visit, and I was telling him, like, I just don't know what I want to do. I don't know that I want to go back in the operations part of entertainment. I feel like my calling is to help people to learn and to grow. And I especially love in the entertainment industry, we get a lot of frontline first-time workers.
Yes.
And so I'm a mom. I see my kids have grown up, and I just feel like that's such an opportunity for us. Like it's our responsibility to help them grow. So I was talking with Mike, and Mike said, oh, he had an epiphany, and he's like, I need you to call Beth. Like, Beth Standlee is, all the things that you said to me in this conversation are like what TrainerTainment stands for. Like, I know she's here in the area. Like, I'd love for you to call her. So we got connected, and we met, and just sitting and talking to you about the values of the company. Like, I got super excited, and I didn't know a lot about TrainerTainment. Your book was about to come out. I had looked up the website, but just meeting you and talking to you and just seeing how aligned your values and my values are.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's fun. I love fun. That's part of the entertainment industry. So I'm all about having fun. It makes everything move so much quicker and easier. And the intentional learning part, like, I made it basically a promise to myself years ago. Like, I'm going to be coachable. I want to learn, but I want to help others learn and grow. And then I guess being in service to others, it's like
Yes.
that. I was born that way. Not the Lady Gaga song, but
Oh,
that's mine. Like, it's in my DNA. Like, I'm a service person, and I want to help as many people as I can. And so, so that's kind of how we got connected during the summer, and the timing wasn't really right for, I don't think, either one of us. And then whenever the sales position came up and there was an opportunity, I don't know that I was necessarily looking for a sales job, but then after we talked again, like, what TrainerTainment selling is what I'm passionate about. So
Yes.
like, the fit was there. I had the bones of selling and the understanding of what that takes. But I was just excited. I'm getting to sell something that I truly care about. I truly know there's a need for that.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, and one of the things I noticed in the interview, you had really spent that 6 months kind of immersing yourself in TrainerTainment land. You'd been to our blogs, you'd watched our webinars, you'd read my book, you were able to quote back. And I think the reason it is, there you go. I love it.
I keep it handy to look.
Well, I think the thing that really makes that leap from operations to sales so relevant in your case especially, and I love it how you get that, is I truly believe great selling is about helping other people. And that's that in your DNA, being in service to others and things like that. And I don't feel like we've ever done, I have an awareness that I'm persuasive. Like, I'm a persuasive human, and it's in my DNA to try to get people to do it my way. But that doesn't work very well. If I have to talk somebody into something, that doesn't, even if I could, I don't want to. I want people to, I want to find a need and then serve them, like you said. So it's funny because, we assessed Sonya, like, we follow our own processes, and wanted to make sure that we weren't setting you up for failure. And from a sales acumen point of view, you just like hit the ball out of the park. We use Colby and we use that sales assessment, and I was like, okay, winner, winner.
I do have to say, through the interview process, like, I want to just share, because it's amazing that I went through that process of something that we're helping people to hire general managers and salespeople. And I think the interview process was amazing for me. I have, like I said, I have never done just a sales focused interview where that's 100% of what that was. And there was so many thought-provoking questions. Like, she got in the nitty-gritty of things and really made me think about what that was. It wasn't a lot of fluff questions. Like, it was truly, like, the interview was amazing from my perspective as well, as an interviewer. And I've done tons of interviews.
You hired tons of people. in your
Yes.
career. Yeah.
Yes. So I thought that for a salesperson, and I've had multiple conversations with customers now with, since I've been here the last month and a half, that about that process and really what it was. And I think some people are concerned, oh, well, I don't know how that process works, but I can firsthand really tell them how it works because I went through it. So.
That's awesome. That's a great point. And I would share with you that we don't sell any service. We don't promote any, from a business coaching perspective, from a hiring, from a new center project, from a sales coaching. We don't do anything. We don't teach anything that we don't follow to begin with. We almost made ourselves the guinea pig for things before we started taking it out into the world, because we want to make sure that it works. So I love it. I hadn't even put two and two together about your ability to really speak firsthand to our customers about hiring. So
that do what I do, not what I say kind of thing.
That's right.
I think it's awesome. We know, because we believe in those things. We're not just trying to sell a product. We're not trying to sell you a book that's like, just do this. We think it works. Like, we know it works because we live it every day. We've seen businesses grow from it. I mean, I've just, in some of the conversations I've had with current customers, like I've reached out to some of the current customers, past customers, and what they have to say about the things that they've taken away and that they're using still every day. So it's not awesome. Like, oh, we go through this process and now it's done. We did it. Like, it's a foundation that they've built, and they're carrying it on and actually still using it, even if it's 2-3 years later. Like, they can they automatically know, oh, this came from TrainerTainment, and we do this from our training on this. So I love that part as well too, because it's great. Living. It's living.
Oh, I like that. I love that word. Yes, I always think that I don't want us to do anything that's not real sticky. I want it to work, because that's the reinforcement. When stuff works, then you want to do it more. It makes it a lot easier. And gosh, so much of what we're working on with people is all about change. And change management's really hard, people. But I'll tell you, our world is moving so fast that if you're unwilling to kind of hang on and keep up with the way things are moving and changing and stuff. Well, what's been easy? What's been hard so far? Like, what's easy? What's difficult?
I feel like what's been really easy is that the team. I love the team. I feel confident in whatever our customer, my client, decides is what they're going to choose for their team to help them grow their people or their business. I know that I'm handing them off to the most capable people in the world. Like, that's kind of because we're doing a service, it's different than, like I said, something, a tangible item of like, okay, well, you bought it, here you go. Now it's like, I truly believe that these people care about every client that they work with, every business coach, every sales coach, and they're invested in their clients. It's not just a job for them. And so for me, that's one of the, that's like I got goosebumps right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that part's really exciting. The part that's hard is the lots of phone calls and no connections. So if you're hearing this and I'm calling you, pick up the phone. Or call me back.
I love it. That
I
is
need
the hard
to talk
part.
to people. I talk a lot.
Well, that is the hard part. That's one of the hardest parts about sales, is that we make up in our mind when people don't answer the phone. It's really easy to get into your own head about they don't want to talk to me, or they think I'm bugging them, when in truth people are so darn busy. And until we become the priority, or until the pain gets so great, or they really make a decision, hey, it's a new day and I'm going to upgrade my team, because that's what we're in the business of, right, is upgrading teams and people. And so until they can get their head wrapped around that, sometimes it makes it easier to wait on our call.
And I think everybody knows that training's important. Like, anybody in any business understands that training's important. They need it. they need systems in place. A lot of times they just don't know how to go about it. And I think it's a huge investment. Like I learned a long time ago about how much money you spend hiring the wrong person, training the wrong person, that continuous over and over training. Like if you think about each one of those times, every time your turnover, if you think about that in dollars instead of like people, it really becomes like a this or that. Like if I would have just done this, I wouldn't have to keep doing that kind of thing.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I think
there's a misconception that people are disposable, and there's a resignation to well, if I invest that money, they're only going to stay with me 6 months, or but what if you don't invest money and they stay with you forever and they suck?
And I would disagree with that too, because I stayed at my last job for 16 years because they invested in me. They trained me. I could have gone somewhere and probably made more money or worked less hour. I don't know. I could have done other things. I had other opportunities, but I loved that they invested in me. They were all about learning and development. And that truly is, when you're feeling challenged and you're growing, it makes all those other things that we have to do anyway a little easier. the pains that everybody has every day in a business, it made it a little easier for me, I think, because I knew that I was taking away. And when I reflect back on that, how much I learned over those years is invaluable education that I couldn't have got in 30 years of college, I don't think,
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, I love that. And I think it's appropriate that you brought yourself straight over to a training company, because now you get to do all that all the time. We're so delighted. We're so delighted to have you and your counterpart, Krista. We brought two of you on together. So that's been fun, hasn't it?
Yes.
How's that working for you, that you've got a partner there?
Well, I think that we are, it's weird too, because we're in a virtual reality, environment, but her and I have become close pretty quickly because we share ideas with each other. When something's working and it's not working for me, I'll reach out to her and say, how are you getting this? Like, help me through that process. Help me understand this. And she's doing the same with me. And we're able to bounce ideas of, and just through the learning process as well too. Whenever there's somebody else, like, you're not guessing, like, hey, am I thinking this right? Or am I totally off? I'll call her or text her and she's like, oh no, I thought that too. And so it's kind of helped the confidence a little bit.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. And like, you're not out there by yourself. And you're right about the team. The team's incredibly supportive too. And I love it. I just love what you said about knowing that when you do help a client understand, get into business coaching or get into sales coaching or even into hiring or a new center project, that with great confidence, you got the best people in the universe ready and willing and I think our people act as if they're on that team, like they joined that team. It's incredible. So anyway, well, wonderful. Well, so what things do you do on a weekly or a daily basis to keep yourself growing? Obviously, you have that internal core value of intentional learning. Anyway, what are some of the things that you do on a routine basis for growth?
Well, I think to grow, I have been reading books. Like I showed you these. I have, I think when we met, you had asked me, like, what's the last book you read? And I was like, I kind of counted on the last job. They developed me a lot. So I wasn't necessarily doing a lot of self-development per se.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you asked me that, I was like, man, like, I'm not working and I don't have them to develop me. Like, what am I doing with that? So I read a whole bunch of books. I wish I could show you. Like, I have a pile of books that I read this summer. I watched your webinars, your ThinkTank Thursdays. Like, I've been watching a bunch of webinars. But how I'm helping that to somebody else is, and can be, she's really good about sharing things like, oh, did you see this article? Things that would be inspiring to us in the industry. But I've started like reaching out to people in my network and saying, hey, I just read this book and I thought of you. You should get it. And so the Get a Grip book, I have 2 people that ordered this while we were on the phone talking about it and are reading it right now. So that's my new thing, is like sharing it with other people. And then I'm asking them, like, what have you read lately? Or what have you heard that is been inspirational to you or helped you move forward, so that I can take from their experiences. Like, instead of, there's so many books out there and so many things, and unless somebody just says it and I'm like, oh, in the moment, okay, let me order that or let me do that. But otherwise you walk into something or online, you're just like, oh, that looks, the same 400 books, so it's good to that word of mouth sharing how it's affecting you and what you see and how you think it could be beneficial to them. So now when they're reading it or when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, he told me that this could help me in this. And so I'm really involved in that, instead of just reading a book, because reading has not been always my favorite thing, but I've really I've read 4 books since I started TrainerTainment.
Good. I know you can't hardly avoid it, right? I listen a lot too. So I just finished this morning. I just finished Growth Hacker. Kevin Eckmark did that LinkedIn training with us. Was that just last Thursday? And he recommended Growth Hacker. I think that was Kevin that recommended that. And so I finished that this morning, and then a week or so ago finished Never Split the Difference. So that's super good too. So, excuse me. Oh my gosh.
Goodness. Get that lady some water.
I know. I'm allergic to Miami. I have had instant sinus since I got here. Nothing a little seawater won't fix, I think. So, well, Sonya, it has been a pleasure today to share you with our Think Tank audience, and I love all of your insights, and look forward to the rest of the world meeting you. You're wonderful. We love you, and can't wait to see all the big things you're going to do for our company and for those that we serve. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much
for joining us. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Okay. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.